Our morning show. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank y'all for joining in. Man, it is a beautiful day already. I have your guest is already on deck. My man is on time, which I love. Black folks don't always be on time, so we. But it is what it is, right? So, thank y'all for tuning in to Coffee Time with Coach. I got my coffee ready. Actually, so I put it in my this mug so I can make sure it stay warm because my guests keep me talking. Sometimes they don't talk enough, and because they don't talk enough, I have to talk, and then I can't sip my coffee. So I got it in my joint to keep it hot. So as always, want to spread good energy, good vibes to you all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Brittany Thomas, thank you for tuning in. On my IG Live, we got it's V, Brandy, Words of Honey. Jeff Gardner is in the building. The Synergist is in the building. Thank y'all for tuning in. People are going to jump in and out as they come. So this is the third show, and it's really jumping off. I don't know. So I'm just going to just put it out there. Last night on IG Live, I actually performed. I did 2 poems for Emmanuel Lewis. If you don't know who Emmanuel Lewis is Webster in the series. If you don't know who Webster is, you are probably really young. Yes, Ja is in the house. Boom, boom. Tss, tss. That's my theme song. If y'all didn't get it, don't worry about it. We'll teach y'all about that later. But I performed for Webster and I recorded this on my IG Live. It came out really, really dope. Webster is like putting together this he's on a talent search, and it's all different kinds of talent. The one thing I learned about the internet is that the poets are actually running things. The poets are actually all over the internet. Oh, Charles, where'd you go, man? My homie just popped out. He must have had a phone call or something, but he'll be back. But okay, he's back now. The poets are all over the internet. We're all over the web. Everywhere you go, we're there, performing, sharing love. It's funny that I make this joke that everybody has become a host all of a sudden, and it's funny to me, but it's all love. But everybody is a host now. Everybody has their own event, and it's a beautiful thing. I'm just hoping that when things open up, that people will get back to their normal, and that those who are actually doing the lives, hopefully they can keep up the lives going and keep their fan base that way, if you would. But I'm excited about that. So without any further ado, I'm gonna bring up your host your guest for the day. I don't know why I always keep saying bringing up your host. I guess I'm confused. Maybe it's the morning, but whatever. Your guest, I'm bringing them up so we can talk and see what's popping up in here. So y'all hold tight. Charles,
what's going on, Josh?
What up, family? How you doing, bro?
I'm all right. Can't call it. How about yourself?
I'm good. I'm up early. Thank God to them for the morning show, because if not, I'd be laying in the bed trying to figure out what I'm doing for my day. It's been that way since the pandemic. Like, I get stuck and don't want to move off the bed or off the sofa. I'm just like there, and I don't know what that's about, but whatever. It is what it is. So before we even get started, man, I want you to introduce the people to you. Tell them who you are, where you're from, what you do. Just be you. Just tell us who you are, so they get to know who you are. Because I know you, but they don't know you. So just tell them who you are.
All right. I am. My name is Charles McMurray. Of course, y'all see it on the. You see it. I am originally from Charlotte, North Carolina. I still reside in Charlotte, North Carolina. By trade, I am a firefighter. I've been doing that for about 6 years. I am a father. What else about me? I'm a comedian. I do stand-up. Been doing stand-up for about 7, 8 years now. I'm a musician. I play about 5 instruments. I sing, do poetry. Pretty much very engulfed in the arts. I am a lover. To know me is to love me. Everybody loves me. I'm loved by thousands. If y'all see me here, I'm not Emmanuel Lewis. Okay. I'm not. I don't know what the expectation is for the guest here. I saw that he was on the show, and I'm like, man, what am I gonna do? I never had a show. I don't even know that many words. I ain't Webster. My lexicon is limited. I promise. Lexicon. That's the word of the day. That's all I got for you.
See, that's how you know people are smart, because you use words you be trying to figure out what that means. Like I can't even spell the word, right? So I'm not even gonna try. I'm not gonna try to say it. So I was on his show when I performed, so it's all good. I was on his platform. He wasn't on my.
Okay.
So, but I'm glad it appeared that way, because now it look like I'm really somebody, because.
Oh yeah, you made it.
Let me ask you this first. Let's say, how did you become a firefighter? How did that process happen? Did you wake up one day and say, "Oh shoot, I want to risk my life saving somebody else's life. Why not be a firefighter?" How did that happen?
Basically, my mom's a nurse and my dad is a retired detective, and so public service is like a thing in our family. I actually graduated from college with a broadcasting degree, so couldn't find a job. Regular millennial problems. Moved back to with my parents. One day, me and my dad were just going to a funeral, and a fire truck was driving by. And anybody who's unemployed or ever been unemployed, you look at everybody's job like, I wonder how much they make. I could probably do that. That's what you do when you're unemployed. And so I see the fire truck driving by. I'm like, man, I could do that. And like my dad and my godfather was a fire explorer. And the only reason he chose to be a cop was because they called him back first. And so they were like, yo, you should be a fireman. Man, it's going to be crazy. You only work this many days a week. You get benefits. Da, da, da. We wish we were firemen. We made a mistake. Please do this. And I'm just sitting there like, I don't know about all that. Like I'm a choir boy. Like I'm soft. I don't do all that physical stuff, And so I think I was just at a place of desperation. I was like, you know what? I'm going to just try it. Even if I have this career, it's open and flexible enough that I can do everything that I want to do as well. And so I just tried year after year. It took me about 3 years to finally get on. And then once I actually started, doing it, going through the fire academy and everything, I was like, I kind of like this job. This is cool. It was kind of like going to camp, And so it's a job where I could use my mind, I could use my body. We don't work like that. We just work when we need it. Like it's the one job that you get paid for and respected for what you're capable of doing instead of what you actually do. And so my only job is to stay capable.
I'm gonna tell you, an unknown fact about myself. I actually wanted to become a firefighter, and I didn't think I would have the chance because of, my gunshot wounds and stuff like that. So I never had the chance to do so. And then I want to say it was not more than a couple of years back, but some years back, I found out that I could still. I mean, it's either you can do it or you can't do it. They didn't hold that against me, right? And this is before I got disabled out of work. I went out to find out some information, and I had just missed the mark by 1 year.
Oh man!
And then when there was somebody who was giving me the information, a recruit, I guess you would call them, was giving me information about it. He said, "Well, where are you from originally? Because I can tell you're not from the South." And I said, "From New York City." He said, "If you go to New York City, you can actually still become a firefighter." I forgot what age it was at that age in New York City. Mm-hmm. And he said, "You can always do that and then transfer back." And I was like, I am not going back to New York City. That's just, my firefighter dreams went out the window. Somebody went up in smoke. I was like, nah, bruh. But and then my youngest brother, he also was going to become fire. I forgot, something happened with the testing or something, and he didn't make it, or he missed it or something. But yeah. So there's another job you did that you don't talk about much often.
I do not.
Okay, I won't put it out there if you don't want to, but
nah, it's all good. So in my quest to become a firefighter, because it took 3 years and I still needed a job in the midst. People don't know this about me, but because both my father and my godfather were in the police department, it was kind of a nepotism thing. Like they got me to interview for CSI.
Wow.
Crime scene investigation. And so, of course, when my dad brought it before me, I'm working at a call center. I'm miserable in life. I don't know if anybody worked at a call center over here or did customer service work. When you got the little headset and then you can mute the headset and you be cussing the people out when you mute the headset. Yes, sir. Anything. But but I hated my job, and my dad was like, "Hey, why don't you just work here? It's like being a janitor for the police department. You just clean up stuff. You're driving a van by yourself." I was like, "Oh, I get to be by myself? Oh, yeah," because I was sick of people. And I'm like, "Yeah, let me get that. Yeah, that's straight. That's straight. Work for the city already. Then I can just kind of lateral into the firefighter thing. That's what's up." So it was never my intent to do it.
Right.
Keep doing it. I was just like, let me just get a job. And I didn't even think it was serious because it was the title was Crime Lab Tech. And so I'm just like, okay, Crime Lab Tech, you just go and clean up or whatever. And so I got my suit on, I go into the interview, and I'm seeing all these like forensic stuff and gizmos and posters, and I'm like, oh, this is a real deal. Okay. And of course, I'm in the interview. I've been working at a call center, so I can sell. So I'm selling me, and I'm sitting there, no forensic experience, no law enforcement experience, but I'm like, look, I got a minor in English language, so I can write. I got my degree from media, so I know how to work a camera. I know about apertures. I know about ISOs. That's 2 less things you got to train me on. I'm sitting there, hobnobbing, sucking up to the boss. You just keep talking until they start nodding. You just, if they not nodding, keep talking. All you gotta do is get me in a room and you're going to love me. And so they hire me. And I'm like 23 at the time. I'm young. I don't know how to be an employee. I was a terrible CSI. Wow. I just want to put this out here. I was terrible. I was getting in trouble every other month. Like they would call me in the office and I'd be sitting there like, what did I do this time? I don't even remember. They be pulling up cases. Yeah, back here you did, like they had it in for me. I don't know because, I'm Black or because I was young or because they knew, that this wasn't like the thing for me or because of my pops. I didn't know what it was, but everybody had it in for me.
Wow.
And so I was glad to get out.
What's funny? While you're saying that, right? And I'm gonna let you get back to the story. Only thing I keep visualizing is Bad Boys episode when Martin and Will Smith was in there with the dead bodies, and Martin laid up there with the bimbo. I'm like, Charles, were you trying to lay in there with the bimbo?
No. It's weird because we have had like crazy scenes with dead bodies, and you act different. And I mean firefighting and CSI, we got to respond to both. And so I do have like a skewed perception when it comes to death and stuff like that. Yeah. But it's because you be sitting there, you be having to take dead people's fingerprints and do all this and adjust it. And some people, it's not fun. I ain't gonna go into it because everybody in the industry, everybody ain't got stomach for that. People eating breakfast right now.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna quit that job. I'm probably gonna quit that job. Got to go, and that guy whose head is laying in the living room and his body is in the kitchen, you got to fingerprint him. I'm like, I'll go to the bathroom. I'm out. See dead people. Nah, it's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
You get used to it after a while.
No.
I don't want to get used to it. Like I remember one time, me and my training officer, we worked a body or whatever.
He worked the body. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And we had to do it in the morgue or whatever. So this guy, he's been gone for a while. The smell was terrible, but we had our gas masks on, so we didn't smell it. And so by the time it came up, it's all out. It's all in our clothes and everything like that. But we still don't smell it because we're used to it. Yeah. So we sitting there, we're going to Chipotle, to get some stuff, and everybody's like, they standing a distance from us, and we don't even understand what's going on. We just talking, and then we come back to the office, and the sergeant's like, "Oh my God, you stink!" He started spraying us. And I was like, "Dang, we didn't even know."
Wow,
smelling like full death.
Yeah, I'm not. That's not the fragrance of the day for me. I'm gonna have to take a pass on that. Yeah. Speaking of breakfast, let's talk about this. Favorite foods. What are your favorite foods?
Oh man, I don't really have favorite foods.
What?
I mean, like breakfast foods.
Black man that doesn't have favorite foods, y'all. Explain that to me. How does that work?
I mean, I like food. Like I'm a big guy. I just no food. I'm like, I don't eat that. I like Mexican.
Mexican
Me-
food.
Like if I had to really think about it, because it was my birthday a couple days ago,
Oh yeah,
and
when your
it was
birthday?
also it was also Tuesday.
Oh,
uh,
happy birthday. We late.
appreciate it. But like that's my thing. I always have tacos on my birthday, so I think Mexican is a thing for me.
Mexican is probably my least favorite food.
Wow, we
And
different.
I went to yeah. We very different on that. I'm not doing it. I went to I think my daughter was like 6 or so, and I was out of town. I came home, and she was like, let's go out to eat. And we all got together, got in the car, her mom, her sister, and they was like, let's go to this Mexican restaurant. Now, I'm from New York City. I've eaten people food, like I eat Mexican food in their house. The
Yeah,
store stuff, the restaurant stuff is very different.
yeah.
So it's like, yeah, we're gonna go to this Mexican restaurant place. It was really, really good. It was the best stuff, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I went there. And I said, well, order what y'all order. Now, empanadas are really good, right?
Mm-hmm.
They
Nothing true.
ordered, and I was like, nah, son, this ain't it. Listen, you can't mess up a hungry black man's food. Like, that's a problem.
Nah.
I was mad the whole rest of the day. I just got back. I hadn't seen them in about 2 weeks. I was going from New York for a while. And I was pissed off. Like, no. I wanted to fight. I really wanted to fight. I was really upset. And I never went back. I haven't had Mexican food since then.
Dang, how long ago was it?
Chipotle is not Mexican food. That's just stuff they
It's
throw
American.
together.
I mean, true Mexican food, it ain't as extra as these restaurants make it. Like, it don't have as much stuff. Like, real Mexican don't even mess with cheese like that.
Not too much. So that's the Amera Mexican.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they change it up. Favorite drinks. You got to have a favorite drink. Alcohol and non-alcohol, whichever one you want to give is fine, or both.
I give you both. We got time. Non-alcohol, you know, I'm Southern to the core, so I gotta have my sweet tea.
Sweet tea.
It's always the go-to.
Yeah.
It gotta be made right. You know, not too sweet, but not it gotta have some sweet to it. You know, the right sweet to ice ratio. Gotta have it. Drink. What's my good drink? Jack Honey.
What is that?
Jack Daniels with the honey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not an alcohol person. I drink wine. Like, you know.
Let me see. Favorite wine. I said roast.
Oh, he got it ready on deck.
See, yeah, my boy's right behind me.
I know you a thug when you got your wine in the drawer on deck. Like I don't even have wine. I'm with coffee. He's got wine. I said I drink wine. He got wine. Yeah.
You gotta have it on deck. You know, I'm a bachelor again, so you gotta have it. Yeah, man.
Do that.
Me and the old lady called it quits.
Up all my questions for the day. Not just
he was like, all of my questions was about marriage.
Man.
Yeah, we bust the U-turn on that, boy.
So let me ask you this. Not the marriage part, right? Parenting, because you have how old is your baby now?
1.5.
Yeah, that's become a thing now.
Yeah.
That's been a rough road. I've been where you are, not except I haven't been married. And I'm going to give you what I would give to my brother, my son, or whoever, right? Be real with yourself, but always take a deep breath. And I think you know that already. Always take a deep breath. Because it's going to be some times where you're not going to be ready to take a deep breath, but you don't have to.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're going to have to. I've learned that I can't give you word for word what you should do and tell you exactly how to do what you got to do. But I will tell you that roads can be rough if you don't develop. And I think you're fine with that because I know your character enough. You have to get a level of understanding that is well beyond what you can understand, if you would. You know what I mean? Like you're going to be. It's a whole nother thing. And then when there's a child involved, man, I'm going to tell you what you don't want. You don't want your child is old enough and they're not calling.
Right.
You're old enough for them to call you and they don't call. That is a feeling, bro, that you don't want. I know that. So I would suggest that whatever you do, keep that in mind that one day this child is going to be a certain age and on their own. with the ability to contact you and be with you on their own. And you do not want to miss any of that. You don't want to be sitting here like I am wondering if today's going to be the day that my sons are going to call me.
Man.
You know what I mean? So that's real. Like I would tell any brother that think about that. And then, you can't, do everything perfect to make sure that doesn't happen, but do everything you can to make sure that that's not a reality for you, because you're not going to be happy with that. That's not going to feel good.
Right. Yeah. And I know, my ex, she's from Illinois, and so my baby's far. And
wow. Yeah. My children are in New York.
Say what?
My boys were in New York.
Yeah. And so I have to like make it a point to be intentional to like FaceTime every day and all that. And it's hard FaceTiming somebody who just learned how to walk, because they're not going to stay still and they're not going to care if you're on the phone. But I'm like, if I get into the habit now, like she's going to know, okay, it's time to talk to daddy when she gets of age, and I'm trying to be intentional about that. Don't know what to say to a 1-year-old. But it's like, okay, I'm there. You're going to see my face. When I come to visit, she knows it's me. That's a win for me. She might not know dad, but she's like, okay, I know that guy, but it is a struggle because my dad was in the house. So I don't know how to dad.
Oh, wow.
Dynamic. And so I'm like, I can never be what I saw. So what is fathering really from this standpoint,
I think that's an amazing question. Fatherhood. You know what I mean? Like, what does that mean? And how does that, I had Obi West on yesterday, and we were talking about fatherhood and having. You have a son or a daughter?
A daughter.
Yeah, that daughters. This is the question we were talking about yesterday. A daughter changes the man.
Oh yeah,
and I know from experience. And then I wasn't allowed to when my son's mother had both of my sons. We weren't together, right? And I don't know. It's just a real crazy dynamic. She would not. I didn't know the children were here until they were here. She would not tell anybody to tell me to come to the hospital. None of that. So I didn't get a chance to see them come into the world.
So it was like from day one.
From day one, she kind of, you know what I mean? So, my first son, we knew we were trying to have a baby. The second one, you jump into early, you're in trouble. And we jumped into early, we're in trouble. Funny thing about that is I'm closer with my younger son than I am with my firstborn. Right? Even though my youngest son, I don't understand. Sometimes he just disappears off the face of the earth. I just got to wait for him to come back. But we're closer than we are. But we planned for one, and the other one was that you went in too early kind of thing. So, but when my daughter was born, I was able to be there and hold her legs back and watch that whole.
You saw it,
bro. It changes you. I would never be disconnected from my daughter, and I think a large part of that is because witnessing that part. You know what I mean? And then having a little one that's always worshiping your voice. Like they know the voice from the womb. They know the voice. And having her always run to that voice has been always a thing for me. So yeah.
Man, your kid's grown. Well, not the youngest one. They're still loading.
Congratulations. I got one on the way. I got one coming in January.
Yeah, congratulations.
So, yeah, congratulate me in next January when I make it through.
That's wild though, because parents are getting younger and younger, and so just being older and having parents, or it's kind of. I know it's gonna keep you young.
I'm gonna be 60 with a 10-year-old.
Lord,
with a 12-year-old rather, but still.
Lord.
So you grew up in the church, right?
Yes. Tell
me your top 3 funniest church moments.
Oh God.
Yes, Lord. This is what I've been waiting on all night. I mean,
this is what you've been waiting. Oh man, I have to think about it. Because I have loads and loads. But I remember I was 16 and I was recruited to play bass for this church. I was recruited to play bass, but I also play saxophone. This was a starter church, and so they started off in a funeral home. Statesville Ave, A. Greer. Shouts out if you ever want to bury somebody. But we started there. And so it wasn't uncommon for us to have Bible study and there to be a casket on the side, you know, like, so me and death is always, but it was weird because everybody be like having a Bible study and they used to it. And I'm sitting there trying to listen to pastor like, you know, but the way the funeral home was designed, there's like a wall and a curtain, and the band would play behind the curtain, and the pastor would be in front of the curtain, you know, where the altar is and everything. And so since I played saxophone, it's an acoustic instrument. I didn't have a microphone, so sometimes I had to come in front of the curtain. So they set a little chair by me. So while the preacher would preach, it was literally him up there preaching and me in the chair with my saxophone just chilling. And so this cat would like use me during examples, but he would like be just shading me. He would be embarrassing me, you know, and I'm 16. I don't know how to handle things like that, you know, at the time. And so he was like, yeah, you know, we all can't be young. And he's looking at me, he's like, we all can't have this baby soft skin. And I'm like, yo, did you just touch my face? And like I caught back a little bit because I wasn't used to it. And I didn't know that like pastor had shooters for real. Like the deacons kind of got up like, what? And I was like, and this is that actual story. I just wanted to make it interesting up until this point. But there was one sermon he was doing, and he was talking about how people they love what's bad for them. And he was like, these girls out here, they like all these thugs. Look at this young man. He's clean cut, he's talented, he's in church. You ain't gonna get no booty till you get to college.
Oh, shit.
And he said that in front of everybody. And of course, you know, being 16, you don't want to hear that, you know, especially being a young man, you know, like it's hard to come to grips with your own virginity. And so you be like, no, you know. And so to hear a pastor pretty much call you a virgin in front of a whole congregation and they laugh, and I'm just like, come on, bro.
And in the back of your mind, you sitting here like, well, Sister Clara told me to meet her after Sunday school. Sister Clara.
But yeah, that had to be the most embarrassing. Does that count as 3 and 1?
So, well, I mean, that was at least 2. That was at least 2.
Okay, I get you.
I'm just trying to figure out. I wish I could pay to see you sitting there and the pastor come over and rub your skin. Listen. And he know Deaconess Bernadette his hand was all down her shirt in the back room just a few minutes.
Like, I smell
I smell white diamond on your hand.
White diamond. Not the Elizabeth Taylor.
Listen, you know them old church ladies, it's 2 things they're gonna have: white diamond and candy in the bottom of their purse.
Oh yeah, them little strawberry candies.
Down there with that old ass chains, the nickels and turn colors, pennies got fungus on them. You know what I'm talking about in that church.
It's like butterscotch candy, the strawberry candies, and peppermints. That's the 3.
And they all taste like pocketbook.
Oh.
You want some candy, baby? You know, jeez.
Oh man. Oh, let's see. What's another one? These aren't regular stories, but I remember there was man, I got a lot better stories, but these are just coming to mind. The next year, I started the gospel choir at my high school.
Okay.
And so I was like the music coordinator for that.
Wow.
And so me and all the young musicians used to get together and play all the time. The guy who played keys, his mom had a church. So she shared buildings with a Hispanic congregation. So she didn't start church until 5 p.m.
Oh, wow.
Now, this is one of those holiness shout all the time churches, right? And so my boy would invite all his musician friends to the church, and he would say, hey, we about to go shed. Now, shedding is a thing for musicians when we just playing around, we just working on our riffs and runs or whatever the case may be.
Okay.
You know, it's like a playground for us.
Gotcha.
And so we we treated the actual church service like a shed because they shouted that much.
Oh.
And so we coming in, you know, we got jeans on, we bringing instruments, and of course, to my boy, he's like, "Yo, I'm getting moms all these free musicians," you know, because it would literally be like 10 of us, you know,
Wow.
coming in with horns and like all types of stuff. And so we sitting there, we rotating, we don't care nothing about what's going on, right? We just playing, doing our thing, you know. So his mom, you know, she was one of those prophets. She would prophesy on people all the time. And, you know, we be playing behind it. We don't really care. You know, one time I'm sitting back there with my saxophone, and she was like, "You back there, what's your name?"
Uh-oh.
I'm like, man, all these people here, you want to talk to me, you know? And I'm like, you know, I'm Charles. And she was like, "Charles, you got a calling on your life." I'm like, okay, everybody does, you know? And she was like, "To preach!" And everybody hit the music, dun, dun. And I'm like, no. You're gonna preach the word of God. You're gonna preach before you're 25. Yeah. And I'm like, yo, this is and she was just honing in. She was like, "Yeah, and your parents gonna get delivered under your ministry and blah 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 blah." And she was like, "Everybody in here, how many people have I prophesied to that hasn't came true yet?" And nobody raised their hand. And she just looked at me like, "Except what God allows." And I'm like, I'm looking at my boy like, yo, I'm never coming back.
That's what I'm thinking in my mind. Like, I'm done. Today's my last day. Was this a big space y'all were you in? Was it big?
Yeah, it was a big space. It was a big space.
Okay, good. Because I was just trying to figure out if it was more people in the choir or the church band or whatever that was than there was in the congregation. Because you know, congregations can be rather small.
Yeah.
Musicians.
It was about, shoot, to be honest, I'll say it was about 10 of us playing. It was probably like 25 people in there. Wow. So it was close.
Yeah, y'all was neck and neck.
Yeah.
I went to John P. Key's church. You ever been there?
I haven't. I don't have the stamina.
John P. Key's church, now their praise and worship is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Like they jam. Like he get the best of the best to come. My only thing was like they probably play like 25 songs, like it's a whole album before he even come out. And the funny thing is, right, I know John P. Key. I don't know if anybody when he go to his church. I did love going to his church. I will say that. And then you don't see him, right? I used to play ball with them in the men's and after on Monday nights, the old men, and then Thursday nights with the young guys, whatever. Anyway, so I know them, right? Mm-hmm. After a while, the music is jumping, everybody's jamming. Some people are sweating. You know, Sister Clara got all that sweat on her armpit rolling down to her elbow. And then you hear out the back, "Stewart, bring me out." And he's yelling from out the back that it's time to come out. It was the funniest thing. I thought it was at a hip hop concert. It sounded like somebody was getting ready to come out and just do the dopest rap that you've ever heard over a Christian beat. It was hilarious, but I loved going to his church. But I'm telling you, like the stage be packed with musicians. He had the drummer, all these things. Mm-hmm. I never really understood the praise and worship until I started asking people like, why do you have to put on a concert before time?
Yeah.
And it's just to get people in the mood. I get it. So I said, it's kind of like when you got your black CD cassette. CD is when a cassette is a CD, a tape that you put in your deck, and you press play back in the days before CDs came out. You put your black tape in and you play it when you're warming up the night for your lady. It's the same concept.
Same concept.
I was like, wow, so this is love making in the name of Jesus.
Yes. Yes.
Yo, like that was hilarious. When I understood that's what that was, it made a difference to me what that whole thing was. But I that's probably my favorite part about going to church.
The praise and worship.
Yeah. After the praise and worship, I could just tip you on my way out. Like I didn't get me, boom, and go. Because 2 hours is a long time.
That is. Like they literally would have the whole sound and then preaching. Yeah. I'm like why y'all got a whole open mic?
This is the addition, you know. And then there was this there was a deacon that when he started preaching, he used to take his keys out and jingles because he just got a new house. He'd take his keys, jingle his keys, and run around the church. Oh my gosh. There was another lady. I just call her Sister Clara Ann. If you notice when I'm talking about church, it's always Sister Clara Ann, something like that, right?
Yeah.
She used to put her hand straight up in the air and just walk like March of the Wooden Soldiers, like. And I thought that was like hilarious. Like you knew she was in the word. Like she had a feeling in the word. Her hand get right here, and she walked the whole. You got to see it. It was just amazing. But John P. Keith's Church, if you ever get a chance to go there, man, it is. I appreciate the praise and worship is amazing, and he actually does a really good job preaching. Even his Thursday nights. But that praise and worship, you better make sure you got comfortable shoes on. You got on. I just treat it like the gym. Just put your sneakers and your shoes. Just put your sneakers in your bag so you can. And then take your tube socks off before you put your church shoes on because that don't normally go right.
You might have to get a change of clothes.
So let's talk about your open mic.
All right.
So when did you start that? What was the vision for that, and when did you start?
Well, when I got back to Charlotte from college, I think I don't know, the open mic community, y'all really opened your arms to me, especially as a poet person who doesn't classify themselves as a spoken word artist. You know, because the comedian open mics, like they'll put you on, they won't put you on till like 1 a.m, and then you have to listen to terrible jokes all night, and you know. And the type of comedian I was, like, I really wasn't trying to hear all that, you know? Like, those cats, they just did stuff that I didn't do. So I didn't really like being around them like that. And so I enjoyed going to open mics, you know, with the poetry. And the girls look a lot better at the open mics. Like, there's some baddies. Like, natural hair women love poetry. Like, baddies with the earrings and you know, they smell like shea butter and motions, you know, like they love that type of stuff. And I like looking at them. I like being around them. I love that energy.
Yeah.
Like I'm that guy, you know, but I just enjoyed the vibe. I always enjoyed the vibe. I always enjoyed the frequency. I enjoyed, you know, the fact that you left your spot open for me to try out stuff. I probably done like 6 hours worth of material for you, you like throughout the years, you know. Like I tried out so many jokes and never told them again. But you, JC, back when two team had their spot, back when Claudette had her spot, you know. It was just all these places we would go, and it seemed like it was almost a daily thing to just hone your ability. And I think one time I had to host for Claudette.
Okay.
And I really enjoyed myself. I was like, oh, this is cool. Because as a comedian, I want to be funny, but you know, like you never know when you're going on an open mic. So you're like, yo, I got to work off the person I went before that went before me. And so you got jokes for every single person that came up. Like just hoping, yo, I hope he put me on after you because I got something for this, you know. But they never put you on behind a good person. But as a host, I could say something about everybody. And if they don't laugh, I could just bring on the next person. You ain't got to judge me for it. You know, it ain't got to be like a hot 5 or a hot 10. Like I'm just like, I'll just say something funny and then bring somebody on. And I'm like, I love that frequency. When I turned 25, I had a big comedy show. I don't know if you came to that, but I had a big comedy show.
Wait a minute, Chuck, how old are you again?
31.
Well, y'all make me. Oh, go ahead. When you turn.
But I had a big comedy show. You know, I flew in some comedians and everything like that, and I hosted that. And it was so many people came out. I felt so much love, and I just enjoyed. You know, I was like, yo, man, I can host. Like I knew I could, and people were asking me like, yo, when you gonna get a room? When you gonna get a room, man? And I'm just sitting there like, I don't know. Should I have a comedy room because I do comedy? Like, should I have a poetry room? Like, what should I do? And I'm sitting there thinking about other Christians that I know, thinking about people that won't go to the places that I go, you know, because they don't feel comfortable. And, you know, I'm thinking about people that do, you know, Christian pieces and stuff. And the mood of the room is a certain way. Then the next person come on and they saying all this filth, you know, they go straight E-Rock on it. You're like, yo, and they just ruin whatever spirit that was there, you know? And it was like, yo, wow. if I'm gonna do this, I want to do it my way. You know, I want to do it. I want my God to get the glory from it. I want to be able to bring my mama. You know, I want kids to be able to come.
Mhm.
You know, I want it to be a type of environment where, you know, Christians feel safe. You know, people that may not be Christian don't feel alienated.
Yeah.
You know, but at the same time, we can have, like, it could be a place of growing. It could be a place of healing, all that good stuff, which, you know, most open mics are like that, but you can't control the people that come in.
Yeah.
But when I brand it as a Christian open mic, you can kind of curb the riffraff a little bit.
That's cool.
And so that was my primary goal, you know, and to get all the dope people I know to know each other.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I was always the plug and I was tired of people bothering me. I was like, yo, you want to see who I know? Just come to the show, network. Like, quit bothering me.
Right.
And so 2015, I was in Fire Academy. I ended up having to resign from Fire Academy. So I was unemployed for like 5 months, you know. And so literally, like, with that time, I just kind of took time to plan what the sound would look like. I named it. I drew up a little logo. Was talking to my designer. I was, you know, getting the guy, pastor, to let me use his church.
Gotcha.
Like everything was free. Like, just because, you know, I'm lovable. Like, musicians came, talent came. Like, I didn't have to pay a dime for nothing.
Right.
Literally, the first sound was like my rent party, and didn't nobody know.
Wow.
And the beautiful thing about it was, like, during the first show, my training captain called me and reinstated me. Like, while I'm hosting, like, I stepped out and got the call. And so I'm coming back, you know.
Yeah.
I'm coming back in the show like, yo, I've been unemployed and God did this. You know, because people didn't know I was unemployed. I was chilling, you know, man, we got pride. We don't be wanting to tell people, you know, but at that point, I'm like, guys, you don't understand. I didn't know how I was going to pay my bills. But, you know, so been doing it, I guess, I will say 5 years, but really it's been like 3 or 4, like, consistently.
We'll stick with the 5. We'll stick with the 5.
But it's been good, man. Like, 4 different locations. I mean, I went through it. It's not 4 locations right now. It's just 1 location. But 4 different locations, you know, a lot of pastors, a lot of people were coming through, a lot of artists.
Yeah.
You know, I got a chance to meet, and it's crazy. Like, it seemed like month after month, because I only have it once a month, every last Friday of the month. But it seemed like every show, it would be chock full of people that I didn't know at all. And I have no idea how they heard about it. And I'm like, who are these people? And people be like, oh, Charles got it. He know everybody. I don't know none of these people. Please come back. And so that was just beautiful. It was just beautiful to kind of make that community, you know, with the Kingdom Arts, and to see people, like, kind of grow from that and do their own thing and open their own thing and have the people and the know-how and the confidence to go out, you know, and do that. And so I've been blessed by it.
I've been to the Sound several times. There was one time I was, and a lot of people don't know that, right? I'm gonna put my business in the streets, in the social media streets. I was really, I was brokenhearted when I came out. I mean, heart was torn to shreds one time I came out, and I read a few pieces, and it felt good to be in front of people who had not really known me, and to be able to release some things and not have to worry about, oh, what he talking about, right?
Have to be
right. You know what I'm saying? And I enjoyed coming there as well too, because it also challenges because you can't use the vulgarities there.
Right.
So it challenges your work to, let's see if your work is that good when you can't say the things that you would say because it feel good, or it makes it sound that much bigger. And to have that experience was good. I will say this, there was so many musicians. There was a brother that was singing and playing the keyboard, and there was this other brother that was playing, I can't remember his name, but I was like, yo, I need him to play when I do my piece. He was playing the keyboard. That was beautiful. I didn't know. Now I know you sang. Play the sax.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know you played keyboard too. What other instrument do you play?
Uh, I play trumpet, I play bass, and I play drums.
Wow, wow. I have a electric guitar, but I want an acoustic so I can practice. I don't. It's a different sound, first of all.
Yeah,
It's a different feel on top of that. And I just think the having the ability to just pull it up and play and not have to plug it in and turn this on and get that on. I don't really want to do that. But I got a good deal on it. So I bought it and I still have it. But I want to learn on an acoustic, especially because of the sound.
yeah, it just sounds natural. I can't play guitar personally. I wish I could, but that's the one instrument. I picked it up and I thought it was gonna be easy as the others, and I'm like, oh, never mind.
Speaking of that, what was the most challenging instrument for you to play that you can play? And then what was the easiest for you to learn?
Man, I don't really know. I guess I'll have to go with like one of the first ones because I started on piano and saxophone.
Gotcha.
The thing about saxophone is, it's not like any of the other instruments because all your tone quality is here. So everybody that plays saxophone sound different.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter how many notes you learn and how many little licks, like if it don't sound good, you nothing. And so that's hard in that aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Keys, just timing wise, because it is a percussion instrument, just having that time and then learning how to sing and play is so hard.
Yeah,
because I didn't start singing until I was in my 20s.
Okay.
And because I wasn't in the kids choir. I was always playing instruments as a child, so I never sung.
Right.
And then, of course, being a musician, you're around amazing singers, so you never think like, oh, I wonder if I can sing.
Yeah.
Like you can't just kind of sing a little bit around these beats. You're like, never mind.
You want to know a story that I heard? James Ingram was doing an interview, and James Ingram was never a singer; he was a musician. And Quincy Jones told him, "Hey, man, you could sing." And James Ingram was like, "Man, no way." And Quincy Jones got him working on his voice. We would not have known James Ingram if it wasn't for Quincy Jones.
That's wow.
Musician. Imagine that. Now he's got that killer riff that nobody can hit.
Man, his tone and the power,
Yeah. A lot of his stuff, if you listen to him, nobody sounds like him, right? You cannot happen. It's not going to happen. But just think, if Quincy Jones hadn't listened in, we would have never had those songs from James Ingram.
That's true. I wonder how many people can attribute their careers to Quincy Jones.
Oh my gosh. Have you seen this documentary on Netflix?
Yeah, Q. Was it called Q? I think so.
Yeah.
Or just Quincy.
When I heard he did that song, it's my part, I can cry if I want to. I would have never known that was him. And then to know that really launched his career after just being a musician. That was his big end. I was blown. I was like, wow. How many times have we known or heard that in a movie? Right?
Yeah,
you hear it on radio. You might hear it in a movie, or you might hear it at Hooters if you go to eat wings. I go to Hooters just for the wings. Just for the wings.
Just for the wings.
And then hear that play, but you never hear it play. And then to know that Quincy Jones wrote that song. Oh man. That is something.
You think about his productions like The Fresh Prince, The Wiz. The Wiz is one of my favorite movies.
All time.
Like top 5 black movies in my book.
Yeah.
I
still sing every song when it come on. Michael Jackson, come on, you want to cry? It's just when he you can win.
And I just watched it recently. I didn't realize how deep it was because I saw it as a kid. But I'm like, yo, Michael was always smart. But the Crows had to make him think he was dumb in order for them to maintain control over him. That's institutional racism, basically. Wow. Like the fact that they tackled it and it was so nuanced, and even back in the 70s, it was like, yo.
The choreography in The Wiz is amazing. To see all of it. I mean, even just that scene with the Crows and they putting their hand on you can win, child. Listen, man. I could watch that movie all day.
I just feel black when I watch it. Not a lot of things make me feel black. You know, instead of like my default blackness, but the Wiz, I'm like, yo, I'm extra black right now watching this. I just,
Yeah, I'm blacked in the mug right now, in this moment.
I'm black. This speaks to me. This is black excellence.
Yeah. So speaking of that, name your top 5 all-time movies.
Oh man.
Take the Wiz out because we know that one already. Give me another 5.
Look, I was in my black cinema.
You can go with black cinema. That's fine. Stick with the black cinema. That's cool.
Okay. Coming to America.
Mm-hmm.
Lean on Me. The 5 Heartbeats. Dang, what else? You know, people would say Friday. I don't really put Friday in the top 5.
Okay, that's blasphemy. We're gonna scratch that from the record.
They make it a top 10, but I think because I was so late on the Friday train, it didn't mean as much to me. Because 95, I was like 6 years old. But
damn, you make me old, bro. You make me old.
And so like by the time I watched Friday, everybody they put on was already on. So I was just like, oh, that's cool. And next Friday already came out, all that good stuff. I'm just like, let me see. How many I would say so far?
3.
Dang, 3. Okay. Black Dynamite. I like Black Dynamite. I probably should have like a deep, compelling movie. Something.
No, you don't have to. You don't have to.
Get Out.
I have not seen Get Out.
You gotta see Get Out.
I've not seen Get Out. I've not watched 12 Years Slave. I've not watched Fruitvale Station. My daughter told me Fruitvale Station might be a trigger for me.
It might.
So she told me don't watch that one. But Get Out, I don't know the concept behind it, but from the trailer, from what I saw, I didn't want to see. 12 Years a Slave, I definitely did not want to watch. I just chose not to watch that movie.
I'm not big on slave movies anyway. Last slave movie I saw was the Nat Turner movie.
Okay.
What was that joke called?
Oh gosh. Damn. I'm saying
Some of America.
I know what you're talking about.
But that was the last movie I saw. I loved it.
Yeah.
But
I still watch Roots, and I watched the newest one. Have you seen the Book of the Slaves?
No.
Oh man, Book of Slaves is a good movie. That's a good movie. I like the newest version of Roots because it focuses more on Kunta before he came to the States.
Okay.
It gives a lot of Birth of a Nation. That's what it was. Good call, Richard.
Birth of a Nation. That's the one. Somebody help us out in the chat.
Harriet Tubman movie was good. That was good. That was good. I just didn't want to see. I didn't think. And give us free. I'm a star. That's my movie. That's my movie. Like, man. So that part is as symbolic. Well, not in reference to what the theme is, but you remember that part, like you remember in the Joe Clark movie when he said when they were singing in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And saying it's like those parts you always remember.
Yeah. I'm a Star was like one of the OGs.
Yeah.
I feel like there was like a good chunk of time where there were no slave movies. And then Amistad just kicked it back up.
Witch is in here talking about y'all better stop ignoring his comments. We're not ignoring you. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
I'm not the host. I ain't reading these comments. Is there any women saying anything? I grew my beard out just for this.
Yeah, just for this. He's single, ladies. He's single. He can sing and he's a musician.
I'm back.
He's back. Like James Brown. I'm back. I'm back. Get up off of that. Okay, I'm sorry. Y'all don't know about that. So IG got 1 minute and change left. IG, thank y'all for tuning in. As always, I'm gonna come back on right after this show is over. I'm gonna come back on to you guys and we'll talk about what happened on the show, everything like that. Take your questions, take your suggestions for who will be up next time. I already got a list. I think I'm busy all the way until I think I got the rest of this week, which isn't much, and the whole entire next week already. But we'll come back, we'll talk about it. I'll tune y'all in and we'll get the rest that's coming up. So appreciate y'all, IG, and we'll see y'all in a minute. So I do my IG live because I started there, and I keep that going to make sure I keep my family, keep my peoples up. Some of them are also on here too, which is great. So
Oh man, I was on IG and I didn't even know.
Okay. you when you got it, you got it, bro. You know.
Yeah, yeah. I'll tell you something. So for my birthday, I just, because I haven't touched the mic in a while, and
Okay.
you can't really do comedy virtually. I got caught.
Mhm.
It's not Corona, but with comedy, like I have to feel that energy, And
Yeah.
I had every plan to go to your driving joint this Sunday, but you didn't have it. But yeah, I wanted to go down to Greenville, and I just hosted a Super's open mic
Okay.
down there.
I saw you. I popped in on the live.
Like popped in on live. I was being ignorant the whole time. I was drunk. John, when I tell you everybody at the bar was giving me shots, like it came from everywhere. Like
Wow.
I must have had about 7, 8 of them.
Wow.
And I was still trying to host.
I've been there.
It was ignorance.
Wow.
But I had so much fun. But
I gotta make it down that way.
Oh yeah. The new location is really nice.
Okay, great.
I got in a couple entanglements down there. If I don't want to come home, I don't have to. But Divorce Charles is a new Charles. It's a new day. But I'm kind of glad the world is shut down, because if it wasn't, nobody's moms would be safe.
My mama is.
Ja's mom is safe. But yeah, so I was out there, and I had some people riding with me, and the young lady that was riding with me, she was she's a lesbian, and she's like, she's from New York, like real gritty, straight gully, no doubt, that like New York. Like she's that. I don't know how to take that. I'm Southern, but she's a good friend, good heart, all that good stuff. Mm-hmm. And like, of course, she been drinking too, because it's my birthday. I'm sharing the wealth with everybody. Right. Ain't no fun unless the homies can have some. And so she gets drunk, and she like starts like coming on to me. And I don't know how to. She was like, I know y'all look at me as one of the guys, but I'm a lady too. Like sometimes I don't want y'all to look at me like that. Like I see you with your beard all shaped up, and you got your sweat on. Like, sometimes I just be like, and I'm like,
wow,
what is what is going on?
Wow, I wouldn't know how to do that.
Like, I was like, I'm drunk. I ain't that drunk. I just like not only are you a lesbian, but you the homie, like above everything else.
Right. We supposed to be looking at the same thing right now.
Yeah, now I'm looking at her and you looking at me.
Wow, I wouldn't know how to adjust that.
Yeah. And don't mind, hey, she's still caked up and caked out. I ain't gonna lie. Right, she got the bada beans, So in my mind, I'm like, no.
What if I turn the lights on? I just feel like she might be too strong. She might grab me and be like, I'm in charge right now. Let me get mine.
Right. Like, well, she picked me up, and I'm like,
have you against the wall, right? It's my turn. My turn. That wouldn't work. That wouldn't work. Look, we got 2 minutes left. Less than 2 minutes left. Tell everybody anything you want to say. I want to give you a chance to say whatever you want to say before we have to get out of here. So just let everybody know. Say anything you want to drop. Any takeaways. Anything you want to do. It's all on you. The floor is yours.
All right. I just want to let everybody know that Jesus is real. On IG, you can follow me at Sax Prophet. That's SAXPROPHET. Same thing on Twitter. On Facebook, it's Charles W. McMurray II. If you want to go to the fan page, just Charles McMurray II. It's no W. What else? I do host the sound. Just the sound page on Facebook is probably the best resource to get all the updates.
We got 30 seconds. We got 30 seconds. Listen, y'all,
sound
thank y'all so
T.
much. Follow my man Charles. We're gonna be in IG Live. Come on through IG Live right now. We're gonna finish talking about this and wrap it up. So I will see y'all there. Thank y'all so much. I always tell you, challenge yourself today to be better than you was yesterday. Learn to love yourself so the world can understand how to love you. You have the power to be great and amazing. So get up off of that thing and go be amazing. Love y'all. Y'all be at peace. One.